Hello, and welcome to Lesson 3 of P.3, the Collisions and Momentum Unit. I'm Meijin Chia, a high school teacher using OpenSciEd and an OpenSciEd facilitator. In this video, I will give an overview of Lesson 3 and wrap up with some tips and tricks. Lesson 3 introduces students to speed versus time graphs and focuses on some of the basic kinematic conventions and high school level computational thinking that students will need in upcoming lessons to figure out how force, momentum, and time are related. Since engineering design is one of the core ideas in this unit, students in this lesson begin to evaluate engineering solutions that reduce the likelihood of collisions. First, let's briefly recap on how we got to Lesson 3. In Lesson 2, we saw that a position versus time graph describes the movement of an object. For example, the slope of the graph tells us it's the speed of the object. Also, we figure out that reaction time and reaction distance are quantities that play a role in a vehicle stopping before a collision occurs. We are wondering now how speed affects driving safety. Let's take a look at this lesson at a high level. Lesson 3 takes two 45-minute days. While there is no hands-on investigation in this lesson, there is 45 minutes of material preparation to make the copies of the handouts, as listed in the teacher edition, that students will need in this lesson. There are two lesson chunks in this lesson that align with each day of the lesson. Let's see what's happening in each lesson chunk. In the first lesson chunk, students draw a speed versus time graph for the distracted and undistracted driver from Lesson 2. They also calculate and graph the reaction distances for different speeds at two different reaction times. Students conclude that reaction distance is affected by speed and reaction time, so a person with a particular reaction time has a greater likelihood of being involved in a collision when driving at higher speeds. In the second lesson chunk, students read and evaluate design solutions that decrease driving speed and/or reaction time in order to reduce reaction distance and avoid a collision. So, in this lesson, students figure out that a speed versus time graph is a representation of vehicle movement, including how the vehicle's speed changes. They use a simple algebraic relationship, distance equals speed times time, to explain how even if a driver's reaction time remains the same, reaction distance increases when driving faster. Thus, to avoid a collision, there are engineering solutions to decrease reaction distance by reducing speed, such as speed limits, and or reaction time, such as undistracted driving by turning notifications off. Let's take a look at the key moments in Lesson 3. From the line of best fit of the position versus time graph in Lesson 2, students calculate the average speed of the car before braking begins for the undistracted and distracted driver. They then graph speed versus time. The adjusted time in the graph shown here is based on setting time equals 0 when the car enters the frame of the video and not the actual timestamps shown in the undistracted and distracted driver videos. When the driver begins to brake, the speed of the car changes, but we don't know the rate of slowing down, thus we add question marks for those portions of the graph. To understand how reaction distance is affected by both the speed of the car and reaction times, students calculate the reaction distance for a range of speeds and two different reaction times. Since speed is given in miles per hour and reaction time is in seconds, students will need to use conversion factors to calculate reaction distance in meter. The line of best fit in this graph is a visual representation of the algebraic relationship reaction distance equals reaction time times speed, so the slope of the line is simply the reaction time. After reading about design solutions meant to improve traffic safety, students begin to fill out their engineering progress tracker, a tool to evaluate trade-off related to the constraints that society sets on solutions. For a particular design solution, Students consider whether the solution decreases the vehicle's speed and or the driver's reaction time, which ultimately reduces reaction distance in order to prevent a collision. Now that we understand how speed affects reaction distance and thus the likelihood of a collision, we wonder whether speed also affects braking time and braking distance. Okay, let me share a couple of strategies for this lesson. I found that students need practice to master the graphical and mathematical thinking in this lesson. So I put together a Google form where students can receive automatic grading and feedback once they submit their form. Since students will fill in the engineering progress tracker over the course of the unit, I found it more efficient to provide them with a digital document that they fill in at the appropriate time in the unit. In this lesson, we develop an understanding of the word constraints, and we encounter the words collision avoidance system and following distance in the reading about engineering design solutions to avoid collisions. You will need the position time graph from lesson 2 and should keep the speed time graph from this lesson for future lessons. Well, this is lesson 3 in a nutshell. Join us again for lesson 4, where students are wondering about the variables that affect the amount of braking time. Thank you.